Spider-Man: Brand New Day might genuinely be the most important Spider-Man movie since No Way Home. Because this isn't just another Spider-Man sequel anymore. This movie could completely redefine who Peter Parker is in the MCU. Not just emotionally, not just narratively, but biologically. Organic webs, Grey Hulk, the Punisher, symbiotes, mutants, Mr. Negative, and a Spider-Man who may finally stop holding back. Now obviously, a lot of this is still rumors, leaks, trailer breakdowns, and merchandise clues. Marvel hasn't officially confirmed most of it. But when you put all the pieces together, there's a very clear direction forming. And honestly, it looks insane. So let's break down everything happening with Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Peter's evolution. 1 minute to 4 minutes. Let's start with the biggest thing fans are debating right now. Organic webs. According to multiple trailer breakdowns and leaks, Peter Parker may actually develop biological webbing in Brand New Day. Meaning no web shooters, no Stark tech, no gadgets. Just webs directly from his body, like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And honestly, Marvel might be doing this for a much bigger reason than nostalgia. Because apparently the trailer shows Peter emerging from some kind of cocoon-like mutation process before suddenly developing upgraded spider abilities. That sounds extremely similar to the other comic storyline, where Peter undergoes a biological evolution and becomes more spider-like. And that storyline wasn't just about organic webs. His spider sense became sharper, his strength increased, his healing improved, his durability evolved. Basically, Peter stopped feeling like a guy wearing spider powers and started becoming something genuinely different. Now think about Peter's mental state after No Way Home. Everyone forgot him. He lost Aunt May. He lost MJ. He lost Ned. He's isolated completely. And Marvel has always connected Spider-Man emotionally to his powers. In Spider-Man 2, Tobey literally loses his powers because of emotional conflict. So what if Brand New Day flips that concept? What if stress doesn't weaken Peter? What if it mutates him? And honestly, narratively, that would make sense. Because MCU Spider-Man has always been heavily tied to technology. Stark suits, AI systems, nanotech. Organic webs would symbolically separate Peter from all of that. No more Iron Man Jr., no more tech dependency, just Peter Parker surviving on instinct. But fans are divided for a reason. Because web shooters represent Peter's intelligence. They prove he's not just powerful, he's brilliant. The guy literally engineered advanced web fluid as a teenager. That matters. So if Marvel removes web shooters completely, they need to replace them with character growth, not just aesthetics. And if this mutation storyline is tied to Peter's trauma, isolation, and emotional collapse, then suddenly, organic webs become way more interesting. Now, let's talk about the rumor that completely changed the tone of this movie. Grey Hulk. Multiple reports and trailer discussions suggest Spider-Man and Punisher may end up fighting Grey Hulk in Brand New Day. And Grey Hulk is not just Green Hulk but Grey. This is Joe Fixit, a more intelligent, more manipulative, more morally unstable Hulk personality. In Marvel Comics, Bruce Banner's Hulk personas are basically trauma responses. Savage Hulk is pure rage. Professor Hulk is controlled integration. Joe Fixit is ego, power, control, and selfishness. And that makes this version way more psychologically interesting. Because if Bruce's balance starts breaking again, especially after years of suppressing Hulk, then Brand New Day could explore Bruce mentally fracturing again. And honestly, that fits perfectly with the themes of this movie. Everybody in this story seems emotionally unstable. Peter, Bruce, potentially even the villains. Now imagine this setup. Mr. Negative is manipulating people emotionally. Crime in New York is escalating. Bruce loses control, and suddenly Spider-Man and Punisher are trying to survive a Hulk rampage. Not beat him, survive him. Because realistically, Frank Castle cannot fight Hulk. His guns are useless. Spider-Man can only stall him temporarily, so the tension becomes psychological. Can Peter save Bruce before Bruce destroys the city? And if this really is Grey Hulk instead of Savage Hulk, that's even scarier. Because Joe Fixit talks, he taunts people, he enjoys power, he plays with his victims. That makes the conflict personal instead of mindless destruction. And honestly, Punisher standing beside Spider-Man against Hulk, that visual alone sounds incredible. Now here's where things get darker. The symbiote. Remember, a piece of Venom was left behind in the MCU after No Way Home. Marvel intentionally planted that setup, and Marvel does not plant seeds like that for no reason. Now imagine this. Peter gets destroyed fighting Hulk. Suit ripped apart, body broken, completely helpless. And in that exact moment, the symbiote finds him. That would honestly be the cleanest way to introduce Black Suit Spider-Man into the MCU, because the symbiote feeds on emotion, pain, anger, fear, survival instinct. And Peter Parker right now is emotionally shattered. Now here's what casual audiences forget. Spider-Man is terrifyingly strong. In comics, Peter constantly holds back because he's afraid of seriously hurting people. There are storylines where he accidentally destroys villains the second he stops restraining himself. So imagine this version of Peter coming back stronger, wearing the black suit, and no longer suppressing his rage. Not evil, just done holding back. That changes everything. And honestly, that would finally give Tom Holland Spider-Man a truly dangerous edge. Martial arts training, 8:30 to 10. Now let's talk about one of the smartest theories surrounding this movie. Shang-Chi training Spider-Man. Apparently, Tom Holland has reportedly been training heavily in martial arts during production. And if rumors about the Hand appearing are true, that suddenly makes perfect sense. Because the Hand are assassins, ninjas, highly disciplined fighters. Spider-Man's agility alone wouldn't be enough. And this actually connects directly to comics. There's a storyline where Peter temporarily struggles with his powers and trains under Shang-Chi, developing a combat style called the Way of the Spider. Basically, Spider-Man movement mixed with martial arts precision. And honestly, MCU Spider-Man has never truly felt like a skilled fighter. He's athletic, he's powerful, but he fights mostly on instinct. This could completely evolve his combat style, and there's another reason this theory makes sense. Brand New Day is directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, the same director behind Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings. That crossover synergy feels intentional, especially if this movie is about Peter rebuilding himself from scratch. Mutants, 10 to 12. Now we need to talk about the biggest mystery in this entire movie. Sadie Sink. Marvel still hasn't officially revealed who she's playing, but rumors connecting her to Jean Grey just keep growing louder. And honestly, there's a reason fans believe it. Reports suggest Tremel Tillman may be playing William Metzger, a comic character connected to anti-mutant extremism. If that's true, then mutant hysteria may already exist in the MCU. And Spider-Man movies are honestly the perfect place to introduce that concept. Because Peter Parker understands fear. He understands being blamed, misunderstood, targeted. So if Peter ends up protecting a young mutant from public persecution, that fits his character perfectly. And if Sadie Sink really is Jean Grey, then Brand New Day might secretly become the beginning of the MCU mutant era. Not with explosions, not with Wolverine, but with fear. Because the scary thing about Jean Grey isn't Phoenix Force. It's what happens when the world fears her before she even understands her own powers. And honestly, that sounds exactly like the kind of emotional storytelling Marvel wants for Spider-Man right now. Section 6. Mr. Negative and the Darker MCU, 12:30 to 13:30. Now let's talk about Mr. Negative. Because several teaser details and leaked imagery strongly suggest the inner demons are involved in this movie. Negative is really the main villain. That changes the tone completely. Because Martin Lee isn't just a crime boss. He corrupts people psychologically. He amplifies darkness, twists emotion, destabilizes morality. And honestly, that fits Brand New Day perfectly. Because everybody in this movie seems emotionally damaged. Peter is isolated. Bruce is unstable. The city is falling apart. Mr. Negative manipulating all of that? That's dangerous. And if Marvel really wants Savage Hulk back for future Avengers movies, this is the perfect setup. Negative destabilizing Banner psychologically would be a believable way to unleash Hulk again. Not randomly, emotionally. And that's always when Hulk stories work best. At this point, Brand New Day feels less like a normal Spider-Man sequel, and more like a full reset for Peter Parker. No Avengers, no Stark Tech, no safety net, just Peter surviving. And honestly, that's exactly what Spider-Man should be. If Marvel actually commits to the emotional side of these ideas, this could become Tom Holland's best Spider-Man movie. Not because it's bigger, but because it's more personal. A broken Peter Parker, a darker New York, psychological villains, mutations, symbiotes, isolation, that's compelling. Now obviously some of these rumors may end up completely false. Marvel leaks are messy. Some are probably intentional misinformation. But the direction, the tone, the themes, those feel real. And honestly, if even half of this movie happens the way people think it will, Brand New Day is going to be absolutely insane. So what theory are you most excited for? Organic webs? Grey Hulk? The symbiote? Jean Grey? or Mr. Negative finally entering the MCU? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the Vibe Audit for more Marvel breakdowns, theories, and deep dives.